Good evening and welcome to Newsbreak Live. I'm HIbah. Thanks for joining us. Don't be alarmed if you see flaring coming from the Torrance Refinery. Planned flaring started this morning and will end on November 28th at midnight. These flares occur during scheduled maintenance. It's a startup of a process unit or other activities where a refinery or related source can dispose of any excess gases. For more information on the flaring, go to aqmd.gov. Thanksgiving is just a few days away, and if you have guests coming over, they won't have to worry about where to park. Torrance police will not enforce street sweeping rules this Thursday and Friday. All other parking restrictions will be strictly enforced. And speaking of Thanksgiving, according to the National Fire Prevention Association, Thanksgiving is a peak time for home kitchen fires. Unattended cooking is the leading cause for cooking fires and deaths. One of the first safety tips experts from the NFPA give is for people to not use turkey fryers. Next, it's a good idea to stay in the kitchen when you're cooking on the stovetop so you can always keep an eye out on your food. Check on your turkey frequently and use a timer, and always keep children about 3 feet away from the stove and heat. Make sure electric cords along with anything that can catch fire is away from heat. And it's always a good idea to double check that smoke alarm to make sure it's working. The magic of the holidays is coming together at Torrance Memorial Medical Center as countless volunteers get ready for the annual holiday festival. The volunteers were hard at work today, turning this 30,000 square foot tent into the spectacular winter wonderland. For the 34th holiday festival, soon all of the Christmas trees will be decorated and ready to be auctioned off. Some of the themes include a season of superheroes, Christmas night, Snoopy and friends, and much more. The festival will also feature lunch with Santa and the largest holiday boutique. Throughout the year, more than 10,000 volunteer hours are spent preparing for this festival, which will benefit the renovations of the hospital's North Patient Tower.
It's really touching because to see all the volunteers that come out to support this production, and it's really a production. They get the community involved with so many other outside activities so the general public can see these kids perform, the presentations of all these trees. It just gives me a lot of joy to be a small part in this whole project.
The festival runs from Tuesday, November 28th to December 3rd, and it'll be closed to the public on December 1st for the annual gala. For more information about the festival or to make a reservation to attend any of these events, visit torrancememorial.org/holidayfestival. Nurses at Torrance Memorial Medical Center had a special visitor at the hospital today. Kyla Bree was only a baby when she first met these nurses. Bree was born premature about 8 weeks too early and stayed in the neonatal intensive care unit for 4 weeks before she could go home. And to show her gratitude, today Bree decided to do something a little different. On her 7th birthday party this year, Kyla and her mom asked all of her friends to donate money instead of bringing gifts. And now she's reunited with the nurses who stood by her side when she needed them the most with a memorable gift.
I told my mom I wanted her to donate to the hospital and my friends, and so they bring money, but some bring presents too.
It's wonderful, you know. Our nurses work so hard, and even just getting a little thank you from a parent or a child later means so much. Pictures mean so much, but having them come back all these years later and really recognize, you know, what they did those years ago it just means amazing.
Together, they raised $600 for the nurses and the NICU. Reporter Jesse Pierre will have the full report on This Week in Torrance. The American Heart Association is looking for volunteers to knit or crochet red baby hats to distribute at local hospitals. Providence Little Company of Mary Medical Center in Torrance is one of the places that benefits from the Little Hats Big Hearts program that gives newborns knitted red caps to raise awareness about heart disease. It's the #1 killer of Americans, and congenital heart defects is the most common type of birth defect in the country. All babies born during the month of February will receive a hat. Besides helping with knitting, the association is also accepting yarn or crochet. More than 1,600 newborns in 10 Los Angeles County hospitals receive them. If you'd like to volunteer to knit or crochet, head to heart.org/littlehatsbighearts. The program started in Chicago and has grown to 660 hospitals in 40 states. It's the second year the American Heart Association and the Children's Heart Foundation launched the Little Hats Big Hearts in Los Angeles. A local brewery receives an award that only one other brewery in the state has ever received. Yorkshire Square Brewery announced today that it's been awarded with the Cask Marque Certificate of Excellence. It's the second establishment in California to receive this honor and the 17th in North America. It recognizes the high standards necessary for a great cask ale program. Twice a year, an assessor from Cask Marque checks all available cask ales for temperature, taste, appearance, and aroma. All beers must meet the required standards for the establishment to pass, and then it receives accreditation. Andy Black, head brewer, says the certification proves that every pint is a great pint, and customers are not just taking the business's word for it. Yorkshire Square Brewery is located at 1109 Van Ness Avenue. You can check out their plaque that they received right outside the brewery's entrance. And if you're looking to hit the road this week, make sure you're prepared. AAA says this Thanksgiving, they expect it to be the busiest one since travel in 2007. 3.87 million people are expected to get away for the long weekend. Majority of travelers will be hitting the road in their cars, while nearly 429,000 Southern Californians are traveling by air. Since California's gas prices have increased in the last 2 weeks, this will also be the most expensive Thanksgiving to fill up since 2013. And here are some fun facts. The most popular Thanksgiving destinations this year are San Francisco, San Diego, and Anaheim. 1,000 area families received an early Thanksgiving gift. Senator Stephen Bradford, El Camino College representatives, churches, nonprofit groups all came together to pick up and distribute turkeys to families in need. Torrance Council members were also at the event. Turkeys were distributed to various El Camino College programs and organizations like PS I Love You Foundation, A New Way of Life, Calvary Baptist Church, Food for Thought, to name a few. If you're looking to catch some great deals while supporting local businesses, this weekend will be the best time to do just that. Torrance Small Business Week starts this Saturday. If you mention Torrance Small Business Week to participating business members, you can receive great savings. Businesses include 21 Square Bar and Kitchen, Absolution Brewing Company, Bettalino Kitchen, which are among more than 100 businesses taking part. Business Week continues through December 2nd. For the full list of all the businesses participating, head to torrancechamber.com. With the holidays around the corner, Torrance libraries will be closed on certain days. So make sure to mark these on your calendar. This Thursday through Saturday, the library will be closed. There are doors because of Thanksgiving. Other days include December 22nd through the 25th and December 29th through January 1st. Outside materials will remain open, online resources will be available, and no overdue fines will be charged. Free flu shots were given out recently at the Ken Miller Rec Center for the general public. Our Torrance CitiCABLE reporter Abby Gremion has the story.
With the CDC recommending everyone above the age of 6 months to get a flu shot every season and 140 million doses given last year, many governments, including LA Public Health and the City of Torrance, are providing flu shots free of charge.
It's a community flu clinic, so it's for all ages, and it's in partnership with the Los Angeles County Public Health Department. We have nurses here. We also have volunteers from SoCal Rock, students from the medical assisting class of Ms. Castillo.
Terry Castillo, lead instructor at the SoCal Regional Occupational Center School, told me why her students were volunteering at the shot clinic.
The flu can be a very dangerous disease for some people, and it's best to be inoculated against the certain viruses that are prevalent during that year to avoid any dangerous illnesses. The flu clinic is very popular here in Torrance. We direct many of the services to our seniors here in the area, but it's not just for seniors, it's for all ages.
Several Torrance residents we talked to were happy to stop by the clinic.
It's free for one thing, and I always do it every year, stay healthy.
Because I did not want to drive all the way to my HMO, and this is much closer to my home. I do think it's contagious. I do think touching everything, ATMs, touching the baskets at the market, I think the bugs are around, so you really need some kind of help to prevent them.
Every effort is being made by local government and medical providers to prevent the rapid spread of the flu.
Well, it's important, especially for our seniors that are more at risk. They usually have health concerns, and it's just important for them to get their flu shots and just to be prepared for flu season. Better to be, prepared, safe, than sorry.
With vaccination readily available, it's best not to let the flu sneak up on you. For Torrance City Cable, I'm Abby Grimion.
Thanks, Abby. Some symptoms of the flu include fever, cough, sore throat, runny nose, and body aches. Now let's get to the weather. Temperatures are getting warm for the holiday week. Today there were some clouds out there with a high of 81 degrees and an expected low of 62 this evening. Tomorrow will definitely feel like summer with a high of 88, and on Thanksgiving it will be warm with a high of 84 degrees with partly clouds. Just in time for the holiday season, finish line at the Del Amo Fashion Center is now open. The athletic retailer opened its doors to its revamped flagship store in the Juniors Court at Del Amo. The updated retail space features a fresh design concept that highlights key products and has new digital displays. The store is the third Finish Line location to receive the newest updates in the country. It puts technology at the center of the store, giving customers an elevated experience. And if you stop by, some featured footwear at this location includes Air Jordan 1 Retro Flyknits, Nike Air, Puma, and much more. You may want to take a look in your refrigerator as numerous Trader Joe's salads have been recalled. The company has recalled its white meat chicken, curried white chicken, and turkey cranberry salads due to the shards of glass or hard plastic inside the product. Trader Joe's says the products with other inspected codes were not affected because they were created at separate sites. Trader Joe's has apologized and urges customers to get rid of the salads or return them for a refund. Honda is recalling nearly 1 million of their cars. The Odyssey minivans are being pulled off the market because their second row of seats may tip forward if not properly latched. The recall includes cars from 2011 to 2017 model years. About 800,000 of the affected minivans were sold in the United States. There's been 46 reports of minor injuries related to the issue. Honda is working on repairing the problems, and owners will be notified when it can be fixed. For proper instructions on how to latch the seat, you can go to their website. And before the next half of Newsbreak Live, don't forget you can still take part in the city's Turkey Trot 3-mile fun run on Thanksgiving morning. You can register the day of at the Sam's Club parking lot where the race will start. Registration fee is $35. The monthly Torrance Antique Street Fair will take place this Sunday from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. The event will have more than 200 sellers offering antiques, collectibles, vintage clothing, jewelry, home decor, and more. Well, in just 2 minutes, Derek Holman from EP Wealth Advisors in Torrance will break down the tax bill that the House passed just recently, which was a historic moment. This and much more. We'll be back.
a domesticated human family in their natural habitat, known to their species as the backyard.
Hey, you think I should light it now?
I think it's good.
Yeah?
Oh dear, someone is about to burn a pile of debris that's too tall, which can start a wildfire. Wait, could it be? Blimey, it is.
It's Smokey.
It's Smokey Bear. What a legend.
Hey, it's Smokey. Sorry, it was too high. Right.
Watch as he astutely ensures that there's no wind, and how he removes some of the debris to create a smaller, safer burning pile.
No, you said make it bigger, baby. The bigger the better.
Take note of our fearless furry friend here, humans.
I appreciate it. Fist bump.
Watching you.
Smokey's done it again.
Bye, Smokey.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Welcome back to the second half of Newsbreak Live, and joining me is Derek Holman, who is the co-founder and co-managing director for EP Wealth Advisors, which is located right here in Torrance. How are you today?
Good, thank you.
Thank you for joining me. And we're talking about a really big topic. The House passed a new proposed tax changes recently. So for many, they're probably wondering, what does this mean for me? What happens next? So let's start talking about breaking down this plan, and I know it has to go to the Senate still, correct?
Correct. You're right. It has not become law. It's still in the proposal stage. But we are getting a lot of calls on it right now, and mainly everybody's wondering, what does this mean to me? And it's confusing out there right now because there's two different proposals being brought to the public's eye, and that's through the House and the Senate. There's a lot of overlap between the two policies, but there is, or the two proposals, but there is also quite a bit of differences as well. And so you have that, and plus you have just a number of different areas of the tax law being changed. So there is a lot of people trying to figure out what this means to them.
What does it mean for the average person, families here in Torrance, across the South Bay?
That when our clients call us about that, it's basically, we can't tell them specifically what it means to them. It's a mixed bag. There's going to be winners and losers of this. But there are some real key differences right now between the policies or the proposals out there. One being that, first of all, all the tiers are going to be dropped, all the income tiers. So everybody is effectively going to have lower taxes from that standpoint. One of the other nice features is that the standard deduction, right now it sits at $6,000 per individual and $12,000 per married couple. That's going to be doubled to $12,000 per person and $24,000 per married couple. So the standard deduction is going to be increasing, which is a major tax savings for a lot of people. So the way your taxes are figured out is you have your income, and then you subtract your deductions from that, and that's how you get your taxable income. So people whose income, all else being the same, their deductions will go up, and they'll have less taxable income, and at a lower rate. So that should be a big benefit. However, there are a number of people that use itemized deductions. And itemized deductions, there's a number of different factors that go into itemized deductions. So some of them might be mortgage interest, state taxes that get paid, property taxes, all of these, your charitable contributions, all of these get added up together. And if it's greater than a standard deduction, then you can use the itemized deductions and you can reduce your income by that number. However, both proposals are looking to dramatically reduce the amount of itemized deductions that people can take. So if you depend on itemized deductions, your taxes actually could go up under both these tax proposals.
Okay, and when it comes to businesses, many experts say it will benefit a lot of businesses. Corporate tax will go down from 35% to 20%, correct? So what does that mean for local businesses? Is there going to be a difference?
Most of the tax savings that's going to happen, most of the tax benefit of these proposals is actually at the corporate level for business owners. So you're right, our tax code is one of the highest in all of the developed countries. So we pay taxes, or corporations pay taxes right around 35 to 40%. Now, in both proposals, that's going to drop to 20%. So that's over 50% drop. That's very dramatic. Now, a lot of business owners will benefit from that, but unfortunately, because of the way tax law works, is you can only include so much tax deductions and have so much revenue cut in order to have this pass. They can only cut taxes so much. So what they're having to do is limit some deductions and take away some things on the other side in order to help facilitate these tax payments and make them permanent. So that's the trade-off. So a couple of the proposals right now on the House side, one of the thoughts is that they're going to be maybe getting rid of the individual mandate, which requires people to get health insurance. So there's a lot of people that are required to get health insurance, and the government subsidizes them. Without that subsidy, that's an expense for the government. So no longer will they need to be having that expense, and so that allows these tax cuts to continue. And on the other side, on the House side, and this is key for a lot of retirees, is the medical expenditure might get taken away. And so a lot of people depend on the deduction from medical expenses, and that might get taken away if the House proposal goes through.
So there's clearly a lot of pros and cons, but what you're just talking about specifically, is this for seniors when who have chronic illnesses or in nursing home care? It could affect them dramatically, correct?
Absolutely. In some cases, they might see their taxes go up. Their standard deduction is great enough by increasing that by 100%, doubling that. So that could offset a lot of the medical expenses, and the thinking goes that that should offset some, but some people who have extremely high medical expenses actually might not get that deduction as much anymore.
What about real estate?
Real estate, unfortunately, we live in a state that has high state taxes and high real estate values. It's a good thing if you're a homeowner, but under both these proposals, if they get rid of the deduction for state tax, we live in a high state tax. If you get rid of mortgage interest for new purchases, or you get rid of the deduction for property taxes, all of those would be negatives for real estate. So one of the thoughts out there right now is that we wanted to even the tax code. So in a lot of ways, people that live in low tax states are subsidizing people that live in high tax states. And what I mean by that is if two people earned $100,000 and one lives in Nevada where there's no state tax and one lives in California and has state tax, the person that lives in Nevada would pay tax on $100,000 to the IRS. The person that lives in California would have $9,000 of state tax, but then they'd get to deduct that. And so now they'd only report $91,000 to the IRS. So effectively, they pay less to the government than the person that lives in Nevada. So people who have in low tax states don't like that we get deductions in high tax states. So there is a big push for that. The problem is this is the way it's been for a long time, and you take it away all at once, it could end up hurting some people.
So we can see some pros and cons like I just mentioned. Do you think people should be concerned? I know you mentioned a little bit about this, the retirement savings, their retirement savings?
Well, there's actually no proposed changes to the way that retirement plans are done right now. So that, in a lot of ways, the retirement industry dodged a bullet because there were some proposals in there that we're going to start limiting some contributions and looking at those ways to try and save some money for these other tax cuts. But as of now, there's no thought that the retirement plans will be touched.
So this is still proposed. There's still a lot of work that needs to be done. How do you think this will affect your business right here in Torrance? I know you mentioned people have already been calling you. So how do you think this will affect your business?
Well, our business is to help our clients reach their financial goals, and we do that through investment management and financial planning. So we've helped our clients navigate through a lot of different tax environments, and in almost every administration has changed the taxes in some way. This one happens to be a little bit larger than most, but in a lot of ways this will not change the way we do business, which is trying to help our clients reach their goals.
For people tuning in right now, this is Derek Holman, who's a co-founder and co-managing director for EP Wealth Advisors here in Torrance. So speaking of your business, what do you guys do? What services do you offer right here in Torrance?
So we're a financial planning and investment management firm. We call that a holistic wealth manager. And the way that we work is we have a financial planning department and an investment team that helps our clients on both sides. We look at the investments as a way to grow the portfolios, and we use low-cost investments and good performing investments in order to do that. But we also think financial planning is a big component, and that's whether that's tax work or that's help with Medicare, that's help with mortgage interest and looking at how to buy homes and how to withdraw money. So we help really in all areas, and we have a whole financial planning department that helps our clients with that.
And it's very interesting how your company started. It's very unique, and you're here from the South Bay. You started this company with your friend from middle school. Tell our viewers about that.
Yeah, it is different than most firms. We started, I've known my business partner since middle school, like you mentioned, and so that you know, we have a lot of comfort with each other, and we share the same values, and so that's very nice, and it creates a good environment. We have a good team at our office, and we enjoy coming to work every day. So, and one of the other things that's really interesting about us is that we're really one of the first firms to come in and start offering investment management services as a fiduciary. So there's a lot of firms that offer sales-oriented investment advice. So we operate as fiduciaries with our clients, which means that we have the client's best interest. We put our client's interest ahead of ours. And not a lot of firms operate 100% that way. So we were one of the first firms to start doing that.
And Mr. Holman, we were talking about the proposed tax changes. For a lot of people, it might be overwhelming. So if there's any advice that you can give about it, what would you say? Yeah, again, it's a mixed bag. It's really hard to say overall. I do think overall most people's taxes will go down, although I do think that there is going to be some people that might have some negative implications of this. But there is some tax planning that can be done. We're in 2017. These laws will take effect in 2018. So I would say call your accountant or call your financial advisor and talk through some of these strategies. We're pretty close to getting this passed. We'll have some time to be able to make some changes before the end of the year. And so I would say reach out to the people that you trust and get some good advice. What's the best way if someone wants to get in touch with your company? And is it going online, calling you guys? Either. Going online is always easy. You can get some good information about us, see if we're a good fit for you. And I think the web address might show up, but it's epwealth.com. Well, thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. Thank you. And just as Mr. Holman just mentioned, be sure to consult with your financial advisor if you have any questions. Well, that does it for Newsbreak Live. And if you ever have news or video that you'd like to share, please email us at newsbreak@torranceca.gov. And don't forget to tune into the Torrance City Council meeting tonight. For Facebook and Twitter users, use #NewsbreakLive. I hope all of you guys have a great Thanksgiving holiday. Have a great night.